What's up, guys? YuGiOh here with a new stream. Playing Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. And we're just gonna jump right in and... standard mode. There's nothing special for beating this game on hard mode, except maybe some new stuff, but all in all, let's just get right into it. No vibrations, and yep. So I will say there will be a lot of skipping evolve in this. Start making this statement now, only because playing Rechain of Memory a rehash of what we've already witnessed. So there really is no need, but we need to see this scene definitely, because then it will definitely start showing the new stuff. I could have put the audio in here, at least the running audio. I do like the music. I've always liked this little tune. But they started adding here. And I can tell from here they ripped it right out of the Game Boy. Because for those that don't know, Chain of Memories originally came out for the Game Boy. Game Boy Advance, I should say.
Along the road ahead lies...
At least they gave Marluxia his voice lines here. But really, look at the video closely, and they definitely just took it straight out of the Game Boy Advance.
However, in order to claim...
Which is fine. I mean, it transitioned pretty well if you're looking at it from a certain viewpoint. But you can see, like, the unpolished polygons. But it's nice to see, like, you know... Plus, it's been forever since I've seen anything Naminé related. Like, Naminé is actually a unique character. I was happy to see her. Well, I mean, I didn't really get to... Never understood who she was, because I skipped over this to play Kingdom Hearts 2. Then I finally played this, and I'm like, okay, now I know why Naminé is so cool, and why people forgot Sora in the beginning, or why Sora was in that weird pod that we'll see at the end of this game. But before we really get started, some light in here. Alright, that should be a little better. Alright, adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. Much better. So this is new to the... to say, but the graphics, if you... How do graphics look like that? I guess they really, like, pulled it from the PlayStation 2. Because it's not as smooth as how Kingdom Hearts 1... And granted, Kingdom Hearts 1, they just smoothed out. They had to reconstruct character models from the ground up. So this, they already had the character models in set. They didn't have to, like, salvage. All they did was just salvage and reuse, like recycle it, basically, I should say, like most Disney stuff. Alright, so here we are in Castle Oblivion, of which we recall from my Birth by Sleep playthrough. This is actually without Sora knowing anything about anything else outside of his world. It's the land of departure, and therefore Ventus is nearby. The question is, where is Ventus? How do you really maneuver through these worlds? And I think now that the train has left the station,
our very best friends.
I think that the card system is just to help stabilize the corridors that you go through when you go through the doors. But I think if you're not, you know, if you're not like a recognized resident of this world, like how Aqua Ventus is, then the doors are meant to just lead you to floor to floor to floor endlessly until you just like give up.
All right.
And to also make you lose your memory slightly.
That way.
Well, I mean, the memories focus on.
Are you scared?
So it only focuses on Sora losing his memories, really.
Come on, let's go, Goofy.
Hey, fellas,
I feel like the characters are more lively in this
before we go?
in this game than the other games. Like, they really like put a lot of effort in the animation.
That's it. Who are you?
Yes. Oh, yeah? I'll try some
He
magic.
immediately thinks heartless.
Yada!
Uh,
Come on. Yada! Yada!
I call BS on that, on the castle board. You're like, if you know the spell, then why not, like, know it? Like, at least the level 1 version. Because he's saying the level 1 spells.
I should think it's obvious. The moment you set foot in this castle, you forgot every spell and every ability you ever knew.
I could understand abilities with spells for Donald. Donald
In
is
this
made
place,
for
to
a
find
reason.
is
He
to
knows
lose,
nothing but
and to
spells.
lose is to find. That is
But
the way.
abilities?
in
Yeah, I can
Castle
understand
Oblivion.
that.
Castle Oblivion?
See, they saw that, but I'm gonna answer them in Destiny Islands.
Here you will meet people that you have known in the past. And you will meet people you miss.
I miss? Riku! You mean Riku's here?
If
He
what you
doesn't
want
worry about Kyrie too much because
is
he
to
knows she's
find
safe.
him.
But all of a sudden, Kyrie's like of great importance. Yeah, well, I'm sure, like, it's... Of course you gotta think about her, but, like, she's safe at this point. It's pretty cool. Marluxia's a great character
What'd you do?
in my viewpoint.
I merely
If anything, he
sampled your
should... I feel like
memories,
he should
and from
play a
them,
good role in Kingdom
I
Hearts 3
made
for coming
this.
back. I think he'll, like, betray the 13
To
Secrets of
reunite
Darkness
with
and see
those
what
you
happens
hold
if he
dear.
does. Like, does he keep the Xehanort powers that he just got, or I don't know.
What's this? A card?
And what made Marluxia
It is
so
a
worthy
promise
to
for the
Xehanort?
reunion
Like,
you
he's a...
seek.
Like, he tried to take the
Hold
organization
the
from
card
stuff.
to
If anything,
open
he's
the
a
door,
traitor.
and beyond
So why
it a
would
new
Marluxia
world.
want a traitor in his midst? I mean, why would
Proceed,
Xehanort want
Sora.
Marluxia?
To lose and claim anew, or to claim anew only to lose.
So I was like, I don't understand riddles. Oh well.
Come on. Let's go.
I think they didn't... I don't really notice it 100% often, but I don't think they truly synchronized the lips with the English voice acting. Like, this is like pulled straight from the Japanese version. Because Retrain of Memories first came out of Japan, that came along with Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Bits, and then eventually came to the US for the PlayStation 2. Just Retrain of Memories. Which is fine. I mean, I was still salty, but it's fine. In my viewpoint. Alright. So we could skip these only because it really is just not bonus. So here's the tutorial. It's just basically teaching us how to use our decks. It's time to get YuGiOh into all this. So random cards will fall from the ground, from the sky. Will drop down, and it's usually friend cards. And friend cards, they do specific attacks. Donald, he always casts 2 different spells. Goofy, he'll bash you with the shield. And then, in Sora's case, you fight normally, but as you notice in the bottom left, you have a card system. Right, so it's just teaching us how to maneuver and all that. Yeah, so we fight normally. Like, X is still attack at least, and the jumping button is still the same as the dodge roll. You get dodge roll automatically, which is what I'm happy about. I can't skip the tutorial, unfortunately. Lock on is still good. We could move our deck around to choose the cards that we want to choose. But first we gotta empty the deck, so we can learn about reload, because we can reload our decks. Which I feel like is pointless, because once we get to Riku's story, spoiler, we get to play as Riku in this game, only after we beat the game as Sora. We just hold X to reload and we get all our cards back. Sort of. And I'll explain that sort of later. Alright. Yeah, so we could cycle through the cards to pick whatever card we may need. You know, because it kind of sort of has like Yu-Gi-Oh rules, or mostly like all like card rules. Like the stronger the card, the more powerful it is. The lower the card, the weaker it is. So that's why they give us the cycle option, so we could grab the stronger card. All right. So here we are once again in Traverse Town. It's only just one visit, thank God. But there's a lot of rooms. The one thing I enjoy about Chain of Memories is the different kinds of rooms that you could venture into. So, like, you don't see anything like... You've never seen a room like this in Traverse Town. Alright. Now we really get into the battle system. Alright, so we make the first strike, we knock them out, which affects how the battle starts.
Donald!
Alright. Almost leveled up. And so we go, so let me just explore a little bit in here. So the way the cards work for both in and out of battle. In battle, they're only used for, of course, battle purposes. We have our attack cards. Let's see if I can go to the menu. I can't yet. I guess we go to the menu in the next room. But we have cards that we can use. But there are cards that we can use outside the field, which opens the doors to the next room. But depending on the card we use, determines how the room is set up. And the thing is with Chain of Memories, there is no room automatically with a save point, because we're used to going to rooms that have a safe zone, but no, we have to create that safe zone if we have the card, which we do, which is this blue card right here, Moments Reprieve. Now, but the doors are very picky though. The doors, they require a certain number of cards, or at least a certain number that they're asking for. Like, for example, it needs a level, I'm going to say level, it needs a level 1 card. Okay, if you have a level 1 card, doesn't matter, but the only time the cards matter is if it's if the shape, if the outline is a color, as we noticed. Like, if the outline is red, it has to be a red card. If the outline is blue, it has to be red. But if the outline's just a regular grayish white, then we can use any color, but of course we gotta know what's worth sacrificing, what room we want. But here we are now with our first save. I'm gonna keep that proud mode safe, because I might beat this game in proud mode. Still haven't yet. I mean, I have in the PS2 version and PS3, but not in the PS4 version. Alright, so now we go to the menu. It's pretty much the same setup as the previous Kingdom Hearts games, except, you know, it's slightly different. Like, it tells us that which deck is ready, our level, you know, the friend cards that we're allowed to use in the world that we're in. So in this world, we only get Donald and Goofy. And later worlds, we do get other cards, because when we start the world, they introduce us to a new friend that we're allowed to use. So the deck system, we can mess around with the decks to add more cards, but of course, RPG games like to have a limiter, so in this case, we truly are only allowed a certain amount of cards. So, if you notice on the far right above the different cards that we have in our deck, we have CP points, which is card points. And if we can only, and at this moment in time, we only have 275, so yeah. And some cards have a ridiculous amount because of the level they're in. So, but let's at least put Blizzard in our deck. Alright, so we have attack cards, which is our Keyblades, and we have our Then we have our magic cards, which is our blue cards. And then we have our green cards, which is our item cards. The item cards, we can only use them once in the battle. Once we use them, that's it, we use them. They restore our decks. Some of them focus on the attack cards, others focus on the entire deck, or some focus only on the magic cards. Now, we'll get into the kind of part I mentioned earlier, when it says that we refill our entire deck. Not always, and we're gonna get that exposition after we face Leon. But right now, let's go ahead and unlock a new room. We needed this card. So now the room is like this. It's like the third district, but a little different. Alright, so if we attack the enemies before we enter the fights, then there's like a status bar. So that barrel we threw kind of gave the enemies confusion. So they were confused and started giving us a slight advantage in terms of attacking. And we leveled up. Alright. And every victory we get a new card. And now, the level up system, it is now like a skill tree somewhat, or like we choose what we want to level up, what we want to focus on. And right now, I'm gonna focus, well, we're in standard mode. I don't really think I'm gonna die so hard in standard mode. We're gonna increase our deck this time. I like to have like a balance, you know, like this one, and the next one, and the next one. So next time we level up, it'll be HP. I'm not really I don't always get slates, but I will, for the sake of this playthrough, just because it's been a while since I've played this game, so it's kind of fun. And we'll get into slates later on. Right now, let's just focus on. If we just touch the Heartless normally without attacking it at all, the battle just goes normally. I can always the item card even though I could, it doesn't really matter. In this world is like your training world, like you getting used to the game. Alright. I'll get into more of the card explanations once we get to the next story part of it. Because despite the way this game is set up, there's still a story element, but in terms of like the main story, it's only after we finish certain worlds. After we finish this one, we'll go right back to the main story. But right now, this game is sort of, Traverse Town kind of gives us a story, but it really doesn't. Like, you're meeting Leon in the game for the first time. They don't remember you, because the rules of this world are that it's as if you're visiting the worlds for the very first time. Sora remembers, but not everybody knows Sora at all. So they parodied parody, because Kingdom Hearts is like it's like they're making their own parody of the world. It's like still sticking to the story, but like adding their own little twist so that Sora can squeeze in there like the camera. I'm like, how do I mark on? Alright. Getting the environmental stuff can have some benefits, like either getting the money, getting the points you need for buying new cards. You can buy new cards, people. Some pretty low cards for this round. You gotta pick up the friend cards as soon as you see one, because sometimes you get friend cards that... because the friend cards will disappear if you don't pick them up after a certain amount of time.
Donald!
Donald? Donald's AI is still pretty weird even in Chain of Memories in terms of the spells, like, cause his spells are completely random. Alright, so now we use the story cards. Usually they just ask for the story card, or you have to give up a card to advance the story. So in this case, let's see, I'm gonna give up this one, and now we enter the room story. The way we know that where we take the story card is that we can look at the world map, or we check, or just interact with the door that has a crown on it to see which card we need. Because for Sora Story, there are 3 cards. There's the moment, there's the card of beginnings, where you're just like, you make it to the area for the first time, and then there's the key to guidance, where it like tells you like, okay, it's time to go face the boss, or here's a little like mook rush. And then there's the key to truth, where we fight the boss to understand why everything is happening. Alright, so Leon's going to teach us how the value of cards work. So, like I said earlier, the card values matter in this game. The higher the cards, the stronger the attack, and the lower the cards, the weaker the attack. But it doesn't matter the strength in this game. What matters is the card breaking. Because your enemies use cards too. Like for example, Leon, the deck on the right is Leon's. So if our card value is higher than the enemies, then we could break the card so that way we have a better chance to attack. But if their value is higher than ours, then they could break our cards, which you've probably been noticing why some of my attacks have been failing in some of the fights. So, and then we could stack cards together to make a greater value, or we could do special combo attacks that require a certain level of cards, as well as combinations of magic and the friend cards. But the overall thing with stocking the cards is giving us a higher value of cards, which will make our enemy confused, especially the lower class ones. The bosses, though, they're smart enough to stock their cards too. So once they stock their cards, you better hope you could come up with a combo that could that's a higher value than theirs. Alright. But I think that's all I have to say about how the cards work. It's basically just make sure you get plenty of strong cards, but don't knock down the lower cards just yet, because the lower cards, some slates which is our replacement for the ability system, some slates ask for a low value number for a powerful slate. So if you want to use those powerful slates, then keep some weak cards there with you. But the weakest card, 0, it actually is a benefit in terms of the emergency card breaks. Because the 0 card is basically just like, it's like an ace. It cancels out any card, even a combo that a boss does. So the 0 cards are a huge benefit. And I definitely always like to clear the rooms in Chain of Memories, just so I can level up quicker. Alright. And so, now to get into the room cards. So, the way the room cards work is that depending on which card you use for the new room determines how the enemies work. So the card I just used for this room, it makes the enemies attacks weaker. They have weaker cards. And then there's some rooms where it's just normal, and then there are rooms that give you a boost in your item cards, your friend cards, or you're guaranteed to get a friend card at the start of the battle. But the overall thing is that you gotta choose your rooms carefully depending on how you're leveled or how you're playing the game. So for me, I always like to make more benefits for me and make it harder for my enemies. There's a card out there where when you enter the room, all the enemies are present, but they're asleep. And so once you make contact with the enemy, when you start to fight, they're asleep.
Donald!
Alright. Oh, it's a level 2 Donald, but hey, show Donald some love, right? Alright, summon cards. We just gotta hope we have high value ones. And it's always good to break barrels and boxes and all that, flowers in Wonderland and all that jazz, just because you never know what you'll get. So now I have 2 symbol cards. But I can't have them both at once because I'm already kind of close. So, well, actually I did raise my CP earlier, so I guess I could put 1 symbol card. Simba's summoning, he clears the crowd, or he makes everyone like back off a little bit. So, and if you have multiple Simbas, then they'll definitely like damage them more, and definitely like knock them back even further away from you if you're like being there's a crowd on you. And to answer the question, if there's a limit on how many cards we could have, the room cards, we can only go up to 99. But and same goes with the decks, like with the number cards, like we can go up to, like, for example, 99 1 cards, 99 2 cards. So these cards have no limits, but the map cards, yeah, we can only go up to a total of 99 overall. Alright, we have the world cards, of course. Oh, world map, I should say. You can check the world map with the touchpad since it's PS4, which makes it 10 times easier than pressing select. I don't know why, but it is. Alright, still not through yet. Like I said, I like to clear the room. This part's gonna be pretty long because I want to show what happens after the bit of story after this part. Some enemies will come after us, but there are some rooms, depending on what card we choose, the enemies will run away from us because we're the ones that have like the advantage. Like they know we have an advantage, so they try to run away, giving us a better chance to attack. But Alright. And we cleared the room. Alright. Level 3, sure. Just gonna use that. And guidance. I don't like the bubble dialogue too much. So, but I will say that the overall thing with Travis sounds Sora is trying to figure out like why nobody remembers him, or what's going on. Like, but the citizens, or I was supposed to say Leon's crew, trying to figure out what the Heartless are doing here. All right, so let's see. I'll make it a tranquil darkness. A lot of the rooms are always the same setup, but you could start up from different vantage points. Sometimes you'll start from the top, or sometimes you'll start at the bottom, like right here, or from the side, depending on which direction you enter the room. Alright. And yes, I'm gonna clear the room. I feel like I should mess with my deck in terms of organization. And we leveled up again. Alright. I wish the friend cards would carry over, but I feel like that would be like too easy. So increase your CP again. We don't get slates up. We don't get slates for certain levels, right? We don't see another slate for a while once we choose to level up to get a new ability. Alright, so here's the new technique from what I'm talking about. Goofy smash, where it's like an aerial smash, but it's like Goofy's helping you out.
Freeze! Heal! Goofy!
Alright, so we definitely gotta be careful. So now going into how the combo system works with the stocking, if you choose to, now here's a downside, if you choose to start, if you choose one of Sora's cards as the first card, once you do the combo, that card won't come back. It won't, unless you use the item card. That's where the item cards come from. It brings back that card, but once you run out of the item card, that's it, you can use it again. So I try my best not to always use slows. I just use my regular, stuff, and of course Donut the Goofy. And my summons as well, so that's why I can't wait to get the summons as an option. One more summons, primarily Tinkerbell and Bambi. Now with that information, most people probably would, but what about for boss fights? You can't. Boss fights. What if you run short then? Well, with boss fights, if you happen to lose a lot of your cards because of all the combos you've been doing to try to get yourself out of a tight pinch, you'll actually get a Pluto card, and the Pluto card will restock. So now the roulette thing is for me picking up a premium bonus. Premium bonus allows you to turn one of your cards into a premium card, an unbreakable card. Like if you use it, it won't break. But I hate premium cards. I don't like that feature. So with that said, if every time I get a premium bonus, I'm gonna skip it. But for some people, heck, well, man, premium now. Premiums are worthless in my viewpoint. So if I get premium cards, I'm never gonna use them. Because you can find premium cards too out in the wild, but I choose not to use them. So, now, the red orbs. Some people are wondering, what are those red orbs? The red orbs are our Moogle coins. So, every once in a while we'll get a blue card that's a Moogle card. It creates a special room where we not synthesize, but we spend some Moogle points to collect it over the course of the game to buy new decks. Well, not buy decks, more like buy a new set of cards, like trading card system. You know, those little trading card packs you would get at the store? Yep, that's what the Moogle cards get. That's what the Moogle shop does for us now. So, in other words, this is one giant game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Somewhat. Alright, so, here we are with the Key of Truth, which is our boss fight room. And we talk to Sid, he forgets about us, and then we go ahead and fight the guard armor. Thank goodness we never fight the opposite armor. Never! Fun fact, this is the original guard armor color. One thing about Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, they didn't bother to go with the final mix colors. Probably should have gotten some better. Alright, so this little Mickey card, unbreakable, and it does a status effect to the boss, or it gives us a bonus to some of the stuff that we do here. Alright, guard armor still functions the same in terms of like you keep breaking a attack a certain part of his portion of his body and it breaks. Did I hear a friend card? There's an outlet too, and you know there's a friend card or a card that's gonna fit right now. There we go. Ooh, nice. That's like the card. Oh, I can hit the entire boss, another card that before. Alright. Let's reload before we use that Mickey card.
Tunnel!
Sometimes Thomas Magic is pretty tough, but that again, I am playing in standard mode, so...
There!
Pretty strong in standard mode.
Yeah, freeze! Heal!
Let's see it, shall we? I don't like the reload system with Sora because Riku, you just hit it once, and that's it. It's always one after that. The only downside of Riku is that your deaths automatically change depending on the world you go to. Alright. So we level up because the bosses always give us a ton of XP like always. And by defeating a boss, they always have to show this with guard armor for some reason. For some reason, they love this animation. Alright, so every time now, enemy cards. Every time we defeat a boss, or if we get lucky with certain enemies, we get a card. We get a card from them, and they give us certain status abilities. And some enemy cards we can equip, and for Riku, in this story, they stay with him forever. But with Sora, I mean, you get the option to choose which ones are a benefit to you. So right now, I don't use that many enemy cards. The ones I focus on is Jafar, Vexen, and Oogie Boogie. That's it. I mean, there are some enemy cards that have great benefits, but I just like to focus on the ones that I rely on the most. So I make sure I have enough CP for at least one of those cards. Primarily the Oogie Boogie card. Alright, so we don't really need to talk to them. So with Sora, after we beat the boss, they automatically take us to a room where where we can exit from. We can exit the world because we're done. We're done with the world. Just climbing the ladder of victory to the top. Alright. Of course, and they give us a save just in case, because usually after we exit a world, it's a boss right after that. And I think I'm level 6? Yep. Of course. Alright. So now for story. Definitely we won't skip this. So, successfully defeated our first world, and it's as if, oh, let's just go upstairs. Nope. Now to deal with you-know-who.
Well, Sora, did you enjoy meeting your memories?
You mean friends?
Yeah, it was good to see everyone.
What do you have to give?
Stop being vague. Get away from me. Oh, stranger danger. Only I mess with the kids.
Hello.
Hi, Quentin Flynn.
What do you want?
No hogging the hero.
Apparently, these guys need cards too.
Then perhaps you'd like to test it.
Yeah. And yes, we have to use the card system outside the world. Like, you think the card system is just restricted to the world, but no, you have to use them inside the castle too for fighting.
Oh, my name's Axel. Got it memorized? Sure. Good. You're a quick learner.
So for this series, Chain of Memories is when we were first introduced to the organization, especially Axel. So most people think in Kingdom Hearts 2, that's where you first meet Axel, and nope, this is where you first meet him. So I can imagine people who actually did play Chain of Memories before 2 are like, Axel, oh my god! I was like, but that was me when I first played Chain of Memories. I was like, oh, Axel, oh my god, he's in this game? Like, he was here, he was around for years old and no sword? Alright, so bosses have more unique attacks. And of course higher value cards, which I probably should have equipped. I'm still sticking with the deck I started with. I have not messed with it too much. Alright, down there, don't mess up for me. Ah, damn it. Okay. Those really affect that.
Yeah. Come here, I'll make it all stop.
Use that firewall. Let's just how it goes. they had to reload soon.
Tunnel!
Nope, heal man.
Freeze!
Here, I'll make it all stop.
Yeah! Tunnel!
What's it done? It doesn't even have
Here,
to
I'll make it all stop.
Speaking of which,
Guilty!
you Goofy?
Tunnel!
Save? That's Alright. Got him.
Give me a
I think we
break.
gotta concentrate with these boss fights. Even though I'm playing on standard mode, sometimes they can be annoying, like Atzel with the teleportation. And because of Atzel, we gain the magic card Fire. Only level 5 though, which is fine. Level 5 is a good balance. You just gotta hope nobody gets higher than 5, because usually enemies like with the play of 5 and lower. Very rare they have higher cards.
Another one?
But you can't choose a room
What
where
to
they do have higher cards. So I guess that gives, but I guess defeating that room gives you a higher chance of better room cards or
Kinda looks like the
ability
card you
cards,
used
or more experience, I should
when
say.
you made Traverse Town.
Then I guess we're gonna need it to keep going.
Bingo.
That's right.
That's just sort of like our best friend in this, because I know he sees Roxas and Sora. He knows Roxas came from Sora.
Did you really
So
think
that's why
after
he's so
that
nice to Sora,
introduction?
but also he's following
I would
Sayaka's
give up
orders that he
so
gets
easily.
from Kingdom Hearts 3
were
5 8
testing
over 2
us.
days, which is to
And you
oversee and
passed.
figure out who's the traitors, in
Congratulations,
which
Sora.
case is everybody but him.
You're ready now. Ready to take on Castle Oblivion. You will need to follow your memories.
Atzel's the
Trust what
most
you
hopeful out of
remember and
everyone, to
seek
be
what
honest.
you forget.
Only because, you know,
Then
he
you will
definitely
find
sees
someone
Roxas
very
and Sora.
special.
And, you know,
You
Roxas
mean
is his
King
best
Mickey and
buddy.
Riku?
You will just have to give some more thought to who it is that's most important to you. Our most
Interesting.
precious memories lie so deep within our
Atzel
hearts
really just wants
that
to be
they're out
normal
of
again.
reach.
He
But
really
I'm
didn't
sure
ask
that
for
you can find yours,
the
Sora.
life that he has
Why
in
me?
the organization.
You have
So
lost
that's why
sight
in
of the
Dream,
light
in
within
Dream
the
God Distance, I was so
darkness, and it
happy
seems
to
that
see
you've
him come
forgotten
back.
that
I
you
was like,
forgot.
he's
light
here,
Darkness?
and he's a somebody. Now, how do you get those little fake,
Would you
like,
like me to
clown
give you a
teardrops?
hint?
They're not tattoos. At least I don't think they are.
Sora, do you need it?
Goofy's like, well, follow
I'm
you,
gonna
Sora.
figure it out for myself. If you're in my way,
Don't worry, Sora. We'll protect you.
Good answer. Just what I'd expect from the Keyblade Master.
If he would have accepted, and I think Atzel would have had to change
But
his
be
plans and run away.
forewarned.
Or he would
When
take
your
them to the
sleeping
big boss,
memories
be like,
awaken,
hey, they're willing to help us
You
because
may
they want
no
to understand
longer
what's
be
going on.
who you are now.
And then Marluxia's plans would change, and who knows what kind of time paradox would happen if Sora said yes to help. Alright, so now we got world cards. And we're going to end the part as soon as we get to the next floor. Such a white room. Oh yeah, so once we leave this floor, all the rooms that we created in Traverse Town, they get sealed off until we re-enter the world. Alright, so here we are on the second floor. There's a total of 12 floors in Castle Oblivion. 12 or 13, I can't remember. For Sora
What's wrong,
definitely
Jiminy?
has more floors than Riku.
Well, you see, what Axel said back there worries me. What could he have meant by, you may no longer be who you are?
I may no
I
longer
mean,
be
you are
me.
losing your memories,
How
so.
can I be anyone else?
Of course. Still, you can't be too careful.
Yep. Feels like just about anything could happen here in Castle Oblivion.
That you can't forget.
Castle Oblivion.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember.
We'll be okay. Whatever it is they're cooking up, we'll be able to handle it together.
Course we will. Like that creepy castle we explored together. The one with all those weird contraptions.
When was that?
And so it begins the forgetfulness.
What was it called?
Gorge. Oh, it was,
Oh,
Holly?
Holler.
Sorry, I can't remember.
Stop goofing around.
Goofy, sure you didn't make it up?
I don't think so.
It is interesting how quickly they start. We only went up one floor, and already Goofy's forgot a portion of last journey. Alright, so this is our world travel, our warp point. We could go here to go to different floors if we want to level up between worlds, you know, like go back, get some rare cards, or go to a room. Let's show an example of that before we run out of here. Alright, so we're back in floor 1, where we came into, but we can never leave. And so, go to floor 2, and we're gonna save because, well, that's pretty much it. And we'll mess with our deck next. Well, I got a few minutes to spare. Alright, so we definitely increased our CP this time around. I'll stick with Blizzard for now, because Blizzard is a pretty good ability in terms of spread. And we're going to toss him one Simba card. Alright, I think that should be good, because our Keyblade cards are not that fantastic. Alright, so now we are definitely going to save and call it a part. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I was somewhat good at explaining this, because, like I said, I'm not going to have, after this point, it really is just revisiting all the worlds we visited in Kingdom Hearts 1. But we're going through the stories again, just in a different manner. Like a sort of like a nutshell version. But all in all, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Peace.